I'll give you all a minute to solve this question. Okay, so for question 28, we're told a cottonwood tree had a trunk diameter of 2 inches and it had a trunk diameter of 22 inches after X years. The equation 0.64x plus 2 equals 22.24 represents the situation. What statement is the best interpretation of 0.64x in this context? Well, 2 would be the initial, 22.24 is the final, and then x is the number of years. So that means that 0.64 has to be the rate of change. So 0.64 is the rate of change every year. So 0.64 times x is the total increase in the trunk's diameter after x number of years. So that would be answer choice A. Answer choice B would be the total because you'd have to add the 2 to it. Answer choice C would be that doesn't even apply to anything. And answer choice D, the total increase in sugar after each was landed. Um, this doesn't tell us anything about the total increase. We don't know what the maximum is. So the correct answer is A. Okay, question 29. Okay, so for question 29, typically for these, the best way to answer them is to just graph it. I mean, alternatively, you could try to simplify this equation to try to get one of these, but it's honestly just easier to graph all of these, and it has to match this graph that is given. So, I just realized I can't really show my calculator right now. I guess I can do this in Desmos. So give me a second. Um, okay. So, I would show you this on my graphing calculator, but I don't really know how I would be able to do that. So, let's just plug in all of these. So y equals negative x minus 8, x minus 32. Since this is the calculator section, so we are allowed to use a calculator. Um, so this is at negative 8, 0, and 32.0, and 144. So this is negative 256. So this is not correct. It's not answer choice A. Answer choice B would be negative x minus 20 squared. So negative x minus 20 squared plus 144. Okay. And it says, which of the following gives the maximum value of y as a constant or coefficient? So the maximum value of y is 144. So this gives it as a constant. So the correct answer is answer choice B. Basically, I mean, another way you could do this is you could also plug in this equation. So we could do negative x squared uh, plus 40x minus 256. On your calculator, you can ask to find the maximum value, which would be 144, and then just see which one of these has 144 as a constant. So that would be answer choice B. It has 144 as a constant. So that's how you can do this one. Okay, question 30. Um, you could solve it by hand, but it would take a while to do, and that's not really something you want to do on the SAT because you don't really have time. Um, I guess if you wanted to do it by hand, what you could do is find out what two common multiples multiply to these. So that would be what minus 8 and x minus 32. And then you can simplify the equation, which would, yeah, it gets pretty complicated. I mean, at the end of the day, these two are the exact same equation. So you just have to simplify. So I guess how would that work? Um, it would be 256 plus 256 plus 140, and then you take x minus 20 squared would be x minus 40x um plus 400, and then so you just add 400 to this, so 256 plus 400, or negative 256 plus 400, which would get you Yeah, that's negative 256 plus 400 is 144. So you can also get this equation like that. Basically, you'd have to simplify this. So to get this into this form, you'd just be um, x minus 40x plus 400. So you're adding 400 to this side. So this negative 256 would become positive 144, and then you could just do x minus 20 squared. So like you could do it like that. It's a bit more complicated. Would not recommend doing it that way. Okay, question 30. Okay, so for question 30, um, we can just solve this for x. So what you do is you multiply both sides by each other's denominators. So multiply this side by 9 and multiply this side by 9, which will get us 9 times x minus 3. And you just do the same thing with the 7, which would get you equals x minus 3 times 7. And then you can just multiply this out. So that gets us 9x minus 27 equals 7x minus 21. Subtract 7x from both sides and then add 27 to both sides. That gets us 2x equals 6. Divide by 2. That gets us x is equal to 3. And asks the value of x minus 3 is between which of the following pairs of values? So 3 minus 3 equals 0. So which one of these integers includes 0? This doesn't. Negative 1 and 1. This includes 0. So the correct answer is answer choice B. Okay, question 31. So we're on the FRQ now, so there's no A, B, C, D answer choices. So someone asked, wouldn't 30 be C? Um, okay, so I'm not sure how you got C. Okay, so basically what I did is I just multiplied both sides by the denominators. So that's just 9x minus 3 equals x minus 3 times 7. Multiplied it out, that gets us 9x minus 27 equals 7x minus 21. Oh, wait, I think I know what you did. It asks the value of x minus 3 is between which of the following pairs of values. It doesn't ask for the value of x. If it was the value of x is between which of the following, then it would be answer is C. But this asks for the value of x minus 3. So you have to do 3 minus 3 equals 0. So 0 is between negative 1 and 1. Okay, so for question 31, it asks what is the density in grams per cubic meter? So that's just grams per centimeter cubed. And we're given some values. So we have 200 grams per 10 cubic centimeters. So we have 10 cm cubed. We just have to divide. So 200 divided by 10 is 20 grams per centimeters cubed. So the correct answer is 20. Okay, question 32. Okay, so for question 32, we're given a ratio of 3 to 2 for blue to green, and so we're told they use 120, so the ratio 3 to 2, well, 2 is 2/3 of 3, so 120 times 2/3 gives us the total number of green tiles, which would be 80. And so we're given that there's 20 n green tiles. What is the value of n? So we know that there's 80 total green tiles, so 80 equals 20 n. And then we just divide both sides by 20, which gets us 4 is equal to n. So the correct answer is 4. Okay, question 33. Okay, so for question 33, um, we have to find the value of y. Well, there's actually two ways to do this, but I'm just going to do the way most people know how to do it. So first we just set the equations equal to each other. So 3x plus 9 equals negative 3x plus 3. Um, add 3x to both sides and then subtract 9 from both sides. That gets us 6x equals negative 6. X equals negative 1. Plug in x here. So negative 1 times 3 is negative 3 plus 9. So y is equal to 6. That is the correct answer. Okay, question 34. Okay, so for question 34, we have a circle has been divided into three non-overlapping regions. We have a circle. It's been divided into like three regions. Area region one is like 4 pi. That's a 4. That's all right. 4 pi. Um, region 2 is like 12 pi, and region 3 is 16 pi. If a point on the circle is selected at random, what is the probability of selecting a point that does not lie in region 2? So that would just mean what is the probability of selecting a point that lies in either region 1 or in region 3. So that would just be 16 pi plus 4 pi. It's 20 pi. And the total is 16 plus 12 plus 4. That is the total area of the circle, which would be 22 pi? No, 32 pi. So 32 pi is the total area of the circle, and 20 pi is the total area of um 1 and 3. So that means it's the total area of not region 2. So 20 pi over 32 pi will the pi simplify out. 20 over 32 simplifies out to 5/8 or 0.625. So the correct answer is 5/8 or 0.625. You can put either of these answer choices. Okay, question 35. Someone asked what was the answer to the last question? It was 5/8 or 0.625. Okay, so for this question, we're given an initial value and we're given a rate of increase. So let's just write down the formula. So we have 4.44 times, or I guess plus 0.076 times time equals the model predicted bird population So in this case, time would be the difference between 1980 and 2015. So 2015 minus 1980 is just 35 years. So time would be 35. So we just plug in 35 here. Um, I'm not solving this out by hand. I would recommend putting this into your calculator. Um, this gets us 2.66 plus 4.44. So this gets us 2.66 plus 4.44, which gets us 7.1. Someone asked, isn't 0.076 the rate? Yes, that is the rate. 0.076, 0.076. So yeah, that is the rate. Anyway, so the predicted value is 7.1 and the actual value was 7.35. So what is the difference between the actual versus the model? So that would just be 7.35 minus 7.1, which is 0.25. So the correct answer is 0.25. Okay, question 36. Okay, so for question 36, um, we have a function and we're told how much time does it take for the mass in the sample to decrease to 5 picograms. So basically, m of t has to equal 5. So the first thing we know is that the initial is 10 and the final is 5. That means it needs to become half. So lucky for us is that the ratio is half. So that means that this ratio just needs to be multiplied by an exponent of 1. to get us m of t equals 5, because this would just be 5 equals 10 times 1/2 to the first power. Anything to the first power is 1/2. So 10 times 1/2 equals 5. So that would be correct. So we just have this top part equal 1. So t over 5, 7, 3, 0 has to equal 1. So t has to equal 5, 7, 3, 0. That is the correct answer. Okay, question 37. Okay, so for question 37, um, we're told a line of best fit with the equation y equals ax is shown. A point lies above this line if and only if it represents a state with an increase in housing units from 2010 to 2018 greater than 7%. So if it's above the line, then it's greater than 7%. Well, that would mean that the line is equal to 7%. So for the formula y equals ax, well, we have to have the original number in it, which would be what, 200,000 plus 7% or 400,000 plus 7%. So we have 100% plus 7%, which gets us 107%, which we need to convert the percentage into a decimal, which 107% is the same thing as 1.07. So that would be the correct answer, 1.07. Question 38. Someone asked what was the answer of the last question. It was 1.07. Okay, so for question 38, we're given a circle in the xy plane has its center at 4, -5, and has a radius of 2. So, um, the equation of a circle is x squared minus 8x plus y squared plus 10y plus c equals 0, where c is a constant. What is the value of c? Well, the first thing we want to do is we want to try to get this into the circle formula equation, which would just be x plus or minus some value, a squared, and then plus y plus or minus another value squared equals some constant where, well, not some constant, some radius squared. This is the general form of a circle, and so we have a center at 4, so this would just be x minus 4 squared. This would just mean when x is 4, this would be 0, so that would give us a center of x equals 4. So when we do this, we would get x squared minus 8x minus 16, because we would have -4 squared is positive 16. So to make it equal this other equation on top, we'd have to do minus 16. And then for the y, if we want to get it into that form, we would have a center of y equals 5. So this would be y plus 5. Because when y is -5, this would be 0, so y plus 5 squared. And then positive 5 times positive 5 is 25, so we'd have to do minus 25. And then we still have the plus c equals 0 to get it to convert from this formula into the circle formula. And now we know that it has a radius of 2, so first let's convert this into this upper equation, which would just be x minus 4 squared uh, plus y plus 5 squared um, equals 25 plus 16, which is 41 minus, we still have c. So we know that it has a radius of 2, so 41 minus c has to equal 2. So, well, no, it has to equal 4 because this says radius squared. So radius would be 2, but radius squared would be 4. So this is just 2 squared. And then so add c to both sides and then subtract 4 from both sides. That gets us 41 minus 4, which means that c is equal to 37. And so if you wanna check this, you could just plug this into your calculator now, where you can just plug in x squared minus 8x plus y squared plus 10y plus 37 equals 0. And you should get this. You should get a circle with an xy plane that has a center at 4, -5, and a radius of 2. So that's a way to just check it, check your answer. Generally, for all of these free response questions, you want to check your answer by doing stuff. So you can just check it by just plugging in. Someone asked, will they give you a formula chart on the SAT? Yes. They'll give you some formulas. Like, let me actually pull it up. Hold on a second. You'll get this. This is all you're given on the SAT in terms of formulas. Um, Someone asked, how did you get 41 minus C equals 4? Well, let me go back. Okay, so for this question, basically, I converted this form into this form so that we got negative 16 and negative 25 here. So I just added them together and then moved it to the other side of the equation. So we have negative 16, we have negative 25, we have positive C equals 0, negative 25 plus 16, and I moved it on the other side, which is 41. And then this positive C becomes negative C. So 41 minus C. 41 minus C. And then for the equals 4, it's just because it says the radius is 2. We know that it has to equal this. So we know that this is the same as this. And we know that this has to equal r squared. So 41 minus C has to equal r squared. So that would mean that, but the radius is 2, so 2 squared is 4. So 41 minus C has to equal 4. That's how I got that. Any other questions on this one? I could actually plug this in to show you. Let me do that. Um, okay, so this is just, I just plugged it in to show that what we got is correct for C. So x squared minus 8x plus y squared plus 10y plus 37. I just plugged in what we got for C, which is 37, equals 0, and we get a circle with a radius of 2 and a center of 4, negative 5, and as it says in the question, it has a center of 4, negative 5, and a radius of 2. So that means we cross-checked it, and the correct answer is 37. That's the last question for this SAT. For the October 2023 SAT, we could start another SAT, but we have 2 minutes, so I think we'll probably
we can start
end
it
a
next
bit.
time. Yeah, if this is the last question, we can end it and then we can start the next SAT next Sunday. Thank you, everybody, for. Bye-bye, everybody. See you next Sunday.